glory. We thank you for your grace. Thank you for these gifts. And thank you for the greater. It is so in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Hello, my people, my royal people. I like to call you my G fam. Hope you are doing well. Thank you for giving us your time and for tuning in by YouTube, Spotify, any other platforms. Listen, you're watching, you're listening to Living Single Podcast with Dr. G. We like to call this talk therapy. And we like to have as our guests people from all sorts of backgrounds as it pertains to relationships. So we have some married people, we have some divorced people, separated individuals. We have some people who are single and searching, single and waiting, single and putting themselves in position, single and praying, some of them single and crying. But listen, wherever you find yourself, this is the place to be to get some tips, some tools, and some nuggets from some people who are being real and authentic. This is no judgment zone. We just want everybody to come and share from their own personal experience. There's no right or wrong because that's their perspective from their experience. And you're going to be able to benefit from that tonight. That's what we call it, talk therapy. You're going to get something, I guarantee you, that's going to help renew your mind and transform your lives. I have been being transformed just listening to all these people. I'm telling you, Inspire can tell you, she's in the background, our producer, our engineer. She can tell you we have been enjoying everybody. I encourage you, go look at season 1, check out previous episodes, stay with us, subscribe, look at the ones that are yet to come. Tell your people about it. You're going to know somebody who needs to see one of these particular episodes. But tonight, right now, whatever time of day you're watching us or listening to us, we got a guest who is a buddy, a friend, a brother. I mean, a fellow king. He's family. He's been traveling around the world. He's internationally known. I'm about to do a rap in a minute, man. And he is gracing us with his presence and his time tonight. And we don't take that lightly. We honor that. And we're just glad to have him here. So introduce yourself to everyone. Let them know your name, your age, and relationship status.
All right, so my name is Obi1BA. I'm 23 times 2. Hey, I'm 43. So, and my relationship status, as my mom would say, if you ain't married, you single. So that's what I am. I'm single. I don't got nobody.
Boy, if you ain't married, then you still single. I don't care how many of them girls running behind you.
That's what they say, for real.
She ain't my daughter-in-law. You're single. So, hey, give us a little bio on yourself so people can know who they're actually hearing from as you drop, your responses to these different questions. What do you do? And let us know a little bit about yourself. Quick bio.
All right, quick bio. So, I rap for God. He blessed me to travel around the world. I work at the same time, full-time dad as well. And I just try to bless people every day, Every day he wake me up, I just try to be a blessing somehow.
Yeah. Awesome. And we're going to say this again at the end, but how can people follow you and see some of what you're doing?
Obi1BA on everything. So that's you can obi1ba.com. You can find my website. Catch me on Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere that sells music, you'll see Obi1BA. So you can check me out. But overall, you can go to obi1ba.com.
And what's your latest hit?
Hey, the latest album, Pray For Me Too. So anything you hear today that you don't agree with, just pray for me too.
That's a good way to go. That's a good segue. So listen, our first question, let's dive on into it. Y'all keep praying for him now, but keep listening to him too. Our first question, man, is, say what? You say back. Our first question is, what red flags would you tell anybody who is living single or preparing their relationship goals to never ignore if they see it in a potential mate? red flags to never ignore.
To never ignore. Um, I say never ignore any of them. To be honest, you should pay attention to all of them. They red flags. You need to stop what you're doing. Just stop. If they yellow flags, just be cautious. Be like, okay, hold on a second. Let me see what's going on. If they green, just go. It's okay. But
Mm,
um,
mm,
but yellow when red flags that just stop to um, I don't know. I would say mostly like abusive people, um, whether it's physically, emotionally, um, any way that's harmful for your mind, body, or soul.
right. It's good. It's good. It's good. Anything that's harmful for your mind, body, or soul.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's real good. Because if it's harmful for you now, imagine how it's gonna be if you link up with that.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Have you ever had any red flags that you saw with someone and it wasn't all that easy for you to just let them go, even though you knew that red flag was there?
Um, not necessarily. God kind of blessed me with good discernment along the way to where throughout these years of life, I can probably count on maybe not even using my whole hand how many like crazy people, if I use that word, that I've encountered in my lifetime. So um, if I see the red flags, I'm a stop and be like, okay, hold on a second. But I can't really think of none per se that just stood out to me. Be like, oh my goodness, Elizabeth, Elizabeth. Some of them might be too young to know who Elizabeth is.
Red Sanford and Son.
Right.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I had and that's good that you know that you're blessed because I know you've heard of many different. You've heard from your boys many different situations that they found themselves in.
I've heard
Or
on
you
both
probably
sides,
seen some
men
people.
and
Okay,
men
and the
and
girls.
women.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah,
There's some serious issues, serious red flags out there. That's like, whoa, really? Hmm.
yeah, 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 yeah. And so I guess you find yourself, other than telling them to pray, what else do you tell people when they're in those situations? Do you just tell them to get up out of it, or how do you counsel, guide somebody in a situation like that? You know they see the red flags, you see them, and it's hard. You know it's hard to just break a tie like that. So how do you talk to somebody?
Sometimes sometimes like you can't. It has to play itself out. You
Mm,
can't.
mm,
I mean, you could talk to somebody to blue in the face, but it's really timing. Sometimes they have to be in a situation or time after time for them to just get tired or sick and tired or whatever. But I don't think. I mean, you can pray for them, yeah, and just be there for when the ball drop.
that's
Be
good.
there
That's
when it
good. That's
all
good.
hit the fan
Yeah,
because they're
that's
gonna need
good. That's
somebody.
good. They're gonna need somebody. Just be there. Right, right, right. And that's one thing, I'm an advocate for therapy. That's one
Hmm.
thing I've learned through therapy myself, because I've always taken that solutionist kind of approach, trying to be helpful. But then I end up dealing with the weight, the burden of the results sometimes. For instance, I may, and it was pretty much not always giving advice, but observing and absorbing, and not being. I know you want to give advice. I know you want to give advice, but a lot of times it won't be received the way it needs
Hmm.
to be at that moment unless they
Yeah.
ask for it. Right? Because you can see how you can interject it, but if they don't ask for it, they might not receive it. That's what you were saying.
Facts. I mean, relationship hurt is inevitable. Everybody's gonna go through it at some point in their life. And when they're going through it, and when it's over or trying to get over it and get out of it, there has to be some outlet. Um, whether it's like for me, it's writing and putting it through song. My love letters to God, I call it. Um, some people work out. Some people, you know, take trips and travel, or whatever your outlet is.
Right.
You need one to prepare you for the the next potential person you come across that is a potential mate for you.
That's good. That's good. Having that time to um, refresh,
Hmm.
uh, to be restored and then refresh. Yeah, before going into. That's good. That's good. That's some good nuggets, man. That's good. That's good right there. Because a lot of times we don't do that. We don't take time. I heard this saying. You probably heard it too. The best way to get over somebody is to get under somebody else.
So
Don't
you're
tell
just
me you
gonna
hadn't
end up
heard
hurting.
it.
Yeah, I heard that. You're just gonna end up hurting that next person though.
You're gonna hurt that next person, and
Yeah,
probably gonna hurt yourself worse because you're already dealing with stuff. That's good. That's
right.
good. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. So I'm on Obi-Wan. Listen, y'all notice, right? He got that little way over there. He's talking, right? Sounds like a therapist on the other end. Whatever. I'm- okay, moving on to the next one. How important are deal breakers in relationships? And what are some deal breakers that you have had or that you may have? But how important are deal breakers?
How important are deal breakers? I think that's I think that's a how to word this. Um, Different ages have different levels of deal breakers. So like when I say when you younger, you might have a list of 100, 50, 100 or 50 deal breakers. Like, I'm not dealing with that. No, no, no. But then as you get older, some things you look at it more so if not as I'm not going to deal with that, is more so of what can you compromise with.
Right, right,
Um, you know, so that list of 50 to 100 might be maybe 5 to 10, as you get older. It's like, all right, what I'm gonna live with, what I'm not. So um, I think they're still important. It's just the level of what that deal breaker is or what it could be.
right.
And are the deal breakers for me? So if she don't take her Oreos and put it in the milk until it gets soggy, and when it's about to break and eat it like that, then it's like, I don't want you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Um, do I have deal breakers? I don't know. My deal breaker is like if the same energy I'm giving you, I want you to give me back. The same. If I'm speaking life and you speak life into me, if I'm supporting you, support me, and not in the sense of that's what a requirement, but more so like what you give out, should come back to you. It should be a conversation, a two-way streak, expectation of what the same thing you want, you should want for the other person. If that makes sense to y'all.
Okay, 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 okay. And listen, I've been getting a little feedback on this end, but Inspire, just let us know in the background if you're hearing it. If not, then we're going to keep it rolling. But just in case, it's heard a little bit. Um, but that's good, man. Yeah, and you said a key word as far as compromising. And I know I've heard many times on here that people say they see deal breakers as pretty much boundaries, you know,
Hmm.
um, um, what you set up, what you set in place to protect yourself, you know, going to what you said earlier. But you are so right. At first, you have 150. You got this, get older. You see, you ain't got nobody yet. Get shorter. Listen, well, these are my main five things.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, because you get out of you find yourself as you're maturing, getting older, hopefully maturing as you're getting older, that you start getting rid of the superficial things,
Yeah,
you know, and going to the heart of the matter, the character, things you should start out with, because you got people who are younger who got a different perspective, and they've been sharing it here differently than those who have been like 55 and older. To what you're saying, y'all go back and look, you'll see the responses have been different. And especially go back and look at Inspire's episode, which is the first episode. Our producer, you want to hear what she had to say about some of that? So that's good, man. That's good. Anything else you want to drop on Dear Breakers before we move to the next one?
I would just say evaluate your deal breakers. And if they mean that much to you, keep them. If they are ones that can be compromised in some way to where it's like you meet the other person halfway, then that's what that is. Um, but just evaluate them all if you have a long list of them.
And definitely share them with each other. Do you think so?
Yeah,
Or
man,
okay.
communication is the key.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I believe that sometimes we play these games and think somebody should know what's in our mind, or I just want to wait to see. But I do believe that just like if you go into the restaurant and you make an order, you don't. This is somebody you don't know. They don't know you. The person
Hmm.
you're pursuing a relationship with don't really know you.
Hmm.
So you go to the restaurant, you don't just, hey, tell me, let me see what you bring me.
Right.
No, no, I don't want my burger like this. I need pickles on the side. Give me onion. Don't put no mayo on there, because it's that's gonna. I'm not gonna. I don't want it if you bring it, unlike I'm requesting it.
Facts.
And so when you're pursuing a relationship with somebody, go ahead. Don't expect they know. Now, once you tell somebody, you know, then you've given them the opportunity to say, hey, I can work with that. I can compromise. I can work with
Yeah.
that, or I can't.
Right.
Yeah. And if you have to keep repeating it, then it lets you know they're having trouble with it. Maybe you need to go on. But then I always tell people, look at the effort. Look at effort. If people put forth the effort, but that's real good, man. That's real good. Have that conversation, y'all, and see where you need to probably compromise. So moving on from that into the next question, what have you observed, do you think, or have experienced that makes it hard being single, living single in today's society? What's making it hard compared to how it used to be for some of our parents and grandparents?
Um, goes back to what we were just talking about: lack of communication or lack of.
Mhm.
So, um, communication plays a huge role. So, of like you said, of what you like and what you don't like. Like, if things ain't being communicated, how someone supposed to know? How can you grow forward, or how can you move forward um, just off of assumptions? So, um, I would say communication or lack of communication
Mhm.
can be a hindrance. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And is there anything in today's culture that's making it harder to be single, living single, than before this time?
I don't think so. I think it's more so today's culture is more so like pushing everybody to be single or independent or
Hmm.
like um Yeah, especially when it comes to the music, the social media, the television, everything. It's like, back in the day when you think of music or television, it promoted couples, it promoted marriage, it promoted love in a sense. But yeah, now, mm, yeah, no, it's promoting. It ain't promoting a relationship. It's
Right, right, right,
promoting the opposite.
right, right, right. So it's not necessarily making it hard to be single. It's like, hey, be single.
Hmm.
Do your
Hmm.
own thing, kind of thing. Oh man, I haven't heard that yet. I like that.
Hmm. Yeah, I
I
mean,
like.
turn the radio on. Most of the music you hear is singleness.
Mm,
When you um, from social media, like, yeah, you have different nuggets here and there that shows, black love or, different things of that nature. But for the vast majority of stuff, it's promoting independency and you can do it by yourself and stuff like that.
mm, mm, mm. That's good,
There was
man.
there was a shift somewhere in the world. Maybe it was Destiny's Child. It's like, I'm just kidding.
But when you said that, my mind went straight there. I tell you, no lie. My mind went straight there. All the single ladies, all the single
Right,
ladies.
right, 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 right. Yeah.
My mind went straight there. but, but I mean, to what you're saying though, man, and you're right. And I don't listen to the radio like that, but people have different ways they listen to music and stuff
Hmm.
on different platforms. And the I just came from a concert. I was blessed with some tickets. Thank you, Ray Sean called. I told you I was gonna tell everybody in the whole world. Ray Sean called me up one day. I was like, listen, hey, Pastor G, you want to go? You know what you're doing, and so forth. I had to make some shifts. I even had a podcast could take me that night. I had to hit my guests and my producer. I said, y'all, please, I just don't come every day. But anyway, Lionel Richie was in town,
Mm.
and Earth, Wind, and the Fire. And I grew up on their music.
Yeah.
Um, their music. Lionel even made reference. He said, "I see some people over here hugging up. I see some people over here crying. I see some people, and it was that place was packed, black and white, and at that, to what you're saying, it was like you wanted to be loved. You wanted to have a love.
Hmm.
You wanted to have a lover. You wanted to leave there. I want to go find love.
Yeah.
But you heard songs that promoted love. You
Hmm.
know, and being together. And yeah, to what you're saying, man, the music has changed and has shifted culture, which has shifted the way people think and pursue relationships.
Yeah, I was just watching something on Instagram. Some up and coming star, she said, I want to get back to relationship music. I want to people start making relationship music because right now, that's not what we hear. So I was like, wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've actually heard that too. Um, don't you have a song, Kingdom Love or something that from one of your previous albums?
I have a few songs. So on the new album, Pray For Me Too, you got a song called Love on there.
Okay,
On the Real Life Real Music, you have Love Hurts, Love Works. Um, and there's another song called Unconditionally. So,
okay,
um,
okay.
yeah,
So
and
you, no, what you about to say?
no, I was just thinking of it's another song called I Love You, where I'm talking, telling God how much I love him. Um,
Okay,
because that's where the love got to start.
right, right, right. So, do you have any music? Have you created any music about to what you're saying? These love songs, and you made reference to that one, pretty much reference to God. Do you have any for couples? Something that they can play at a wedding or dance to.
Yeah, it's
or watch this, or procreate to.
possibly. I had to go back and listen, but the song on the new album called Love is featuring
Okay.
my best friend King Marcus BA, and
Hmm.
um, how it's written. If you listen to it, one would think we're talking to a woman. Like
Okay.
how it's written purposely is written to make you think like, man, is he talking about a girl? Like, hold on a
Right.
second.
Right.
Um, but it's a what they call a double entendre where we're really
Uh,
talking about God, but
mhm,
you could take it as a relationship. Um,
mhm.
so it was metaphors and similes, um, but love you can look at it like, yo, that's how I feel about her, but that's how I feel about God. So
Right. 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 I love it. That's good. That's good. I'm gonna have to check that out. The
mhm.
as a matter of fact, we're gonna play that at the end of this broadcast if you provide us with it.
Okay, awesome. I
Okay.
definitely
Okay.
will.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I man, that's good. And to what you said you did with that song made me think about BB and CC Wine. I don't know if you remember back in the day when they were together, they would create songs, compose songs that they were speaking to God, but it was something. It was a song that you could sing to your love.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard their music before? BB and CC
Um.
Wine together?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that. I like that. And you know what? Love is love. And so you can actually do that, the
Mhm.
same way, and that, that you feel about God's love, or you accept and receive his love for you, you reflect that with someone else,
Okay.
um, um, that, yeah, that we're going to come back to that, but that's good. That's good. That's good. And yeah, make sure and get us that. Can you share with some of the lyrics in that song?
I say what I say. I say making sure I don't. 'Cause I got two songs in my head right now talking about love.
And you know what?
Um.
Lance said the same thing. He had this monitor. He said, man, all these, he cursed a little bit. All these D songs, I remember. And then he said, they got the light shining on the monitor and I can't see the
Yeah.
words.
I
That's some of
say
these words.
it's been a long time coming. Now I'm ready for this love. You sent chills in my body when you first gave me a hug. Your heart is from above, something I ain't never seen before. Every time I see your face, my my heart it always gets a glow. That's how I know that me and you was meant to be together. You don't bring me down, you lift me up and try to make me better. Ain't no fussing, ain't no fighting, but you let me speak my mind. Then you speak the truth through the book to get me back in line. Keep me smiling, keep me laughing, you always amazing me. Others try to steal my love for you, but it ain't phasing me. You led me to your father, now you got me saying daddy too. Hold up, wait a minute, take a breath, it's me and you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. I'm loving it. I'm loving them lyrics. I see exactly what you're saying. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that'll be at the end, y'all. Y'all better hear it in full effect. Okay, moving on to our next one, man. What does it mean to you to settle? You've heard many people say, I'm not gonna settle in no relationship. And then some people actually felt like they did settle. And I've heard people say, you know what? I mean, some people have looked at it as from a positive standpoint. They found someone they wanted to settle with. So when you hear that,
Mm.
what comes to your mind? What do you think about that? Settling.
Both of the things that you just said. So, yes, one settling, like you said, I'm not settling for whatever those red flags are, or I'm not settling for um, whatever I'm not getting or whatever. So, yeah, on one hand, people don't want to settle for that, but on the other hand, it's like I'll settle because I'm settled for this because I'm getting everything else I want or desire or whatever. So I can
Mm,
settle for that. But I look at it more so of Yeah, there's things that you don't want to deal with at all. Like those are red flags or whatever. You're just like, I can't deal with this. But on the flip side, it goes back to what I was saying. Of those things, on the other hand, it's more like it's not settling. It's more like, what can you compromise with? Like,
Right.
what can you live with, or what can y'all communicate about to where it's like, all right, we'll meet in the middle, or it's 80-20 or 60-40, whatever the case may be. It's just as long as their communication.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and because I feel like there's going to be some type of, I don't even want to say settling on both ends. There's going to be some type of compromising on both ends
Right.
to where if y'all want it to work, it can.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of what you're willing to give and what you're willing to take.
Right. 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 And to what you're saying, going back to what we keep saying, that communication, because there's no cookie cut.
Hmm.
And if you don't communicate, you won't know what that person's quote unquote order is. I'm making reference to a restaurant again. You don't know what their order is, so you can't meet it. But when and you can't judge it by, you look at somebody else plate. I want what they got.
Right.
And that was movie or something in Seattle or something, Sally met something, but it
And
was in a
Harry met
restaurant.
Sally.
Yeah, okay. I know if I said enough, somebody okay.
I was like, is it Sleepless in Seattle or is it Harry met Sally? Which was two movies, but I got you. I got
I know, right? You right on. That's in the restaurant, and she over there eating. Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, I want,
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh, and the woman said, "I want what she
I
got."
was, yeah. Yeah.
Listen, you think you want what somebody else got,
Oh,
but
man.
you don't even know what they had to go through to get what they got,
Hmm.
and you might not even be willing to do what they did, but you could be allergic to what they got.
Facts.
What's over there on their plate. And so it's easy to try to listen to music, look at a movie, look at a TV show, even look at parents and grandparents or
Hmm.
someone in your life and say, hey, or look at social media and
Hmm.
say, I want what they got. All of
Hmm.
that, all of that false stuff they're projecting on
Hmm.
social media. I want
Hmm.
all that false stuff they're projecting. And you know what? And real quick, this is dropped on me. I just heard, I don't know exactly when it took place, but there was this guy, and this woman. They were in St. Louis. They moved from St. Louis to Atlanta. They got married, had 8 kids. They had this big production wedding. They decided to be this power couple. When they got married, they did like a show online, and he was walking through the house. Hey, we're the so and so family, and he would go to each one. They came in pretty much like they did on the Roseanne show, walking around and interacting with the intro. And so it looked as if they had this huge, awesome public relationship.
Hmm.
And then after some time went by, she started doing little videos, pretty much suggesting that she was lonely, wasn't getting enough attention, etc. She was not feeling, she was depressed and all kind of things. Then it went from on to say she did her last post one line because she said, I'm coming here just a little while. She said, I just, I'm just want to share with you all, and she shared that, I'm just going to go in the room, everything. I just, hopefully I feel better, but just, I just don't feel like, I feel like I'm just by myself and time, and everyone was like, wait a minute, we saw all of this on social media, but now your
Hmm.
individual post, you're showing this. Do you know the next thing we heard was she killed him and then turned around and killed herself
Wow.
and left the 8 kids? When I saw that, I said, this is why we talk about what we talk about on the podcast,
Hmm.
because there's a facade
Hmm.
that people are trying to live up to, or what works for somebody else don't work for you, baby, you know? And so communicate, find out where we can meet, how we can work it for our relationship, for our house, what works for us.
Yeah. Everybody wants what they say, the White House with the picket fence, or the I want to be married. I want the wedding. I want do this. I want this honeymoon. I want this type of
Mhm.
ceremony, and so on and so on. But um, everybody wants that facade, as you say, but necessarily not ready to put in the work that it takes to even get to that point to keep it. Like, yeah, you can get it, but how do you keep it? They don't know. So you got the world, a lot of divorces, a lot of like those situations, domestic violence, so on and so on, because lack of work and lack of communication.
Yes, yes, yes. And then after listening to that story and some other stories, I'm like, don't be call yourself trying to give somebody and feel like you can lift them up. They they down and out and you feel like, well, I'm your shining star and everything. Listen, they down and out for a reason, and that down and out could turn into something else.
Yeah,
You know,
they gotta heal first.
heal, heal first. Cause see, it looks this way today, but
Hmm.
tomorrow it could. I don't need you coming up in no room, powing and all kind of stuff, and
Man,
this
don't love me
monster
that
done come up.
much.
No, no, and I do believe it's not funny, but I do believe that we see is red flags that we are ignoring. Like
Mm,
you say, you have the gift of discernment, and sometimes
hmm.
there have been many of us who have it's been right in front of our face, and we're like, yeah, but and you already know this is
Yeah.
something that brings you misery now to some degree. It's not building you, it's not uplifting you, it's not making you happy or healthy for you,
Mhm.
right? It's making you
Right.
feel this way already, but you're going to still go in, and you're moving to it, step into it for different reasons. Why do you think people ignore red flags? I know I'm backing up a little bit to that, but why are you thinking people are settling and ignoring some of the red flags that they're seeing, like this relationship I just told you about?
I think it's distractions, because you have on blinders, um and your eyes are foggy. So distractions. So relating this to when I watch the news
Right.
and some big story is happening,
Mhm.
I'm always like, all right, what's really happening? Because this is a distraction for something else. It's the same when they're dealing with red flags and they don't see them. It's like they're distracted by something else, that the
Mhm.
person is doing, the person is
Mm.
giving, um,
Mm.
whatever. There's something that's distracting them from like what's that.
Wow. Yes, man. And so you're not even giving attention to what you need to be because you're being distracted by something else
Hmm.
that they may be appealing you. I mean, they may be appealing to you in this particular area, and that thing right there is distracting you from all these other things that you should be watching, be observing, be, you know, that are actually just red flags, that should cause you
Hmm.
to take a detour, but you don't got distracted.
Yep.
That's now Steve Harvey said in Stephanie's episode. Y'all need to watch Stephanie's episode and come out your way. Oh my gosh, Stephanie Williams episode. Um, she talked about, she said, I love Steve Harvey. She said, but this 90-day thing is not long enough, you know. Um, and he said 90 days before you give them the cookie, the cake, whatever you want to call it. Um,
Uh-huh.
yeah, and what happens is that you get soul ties, and then it becomes a
Hmm.
distraction. It
Hmm.
becomes hard for you to ignore and you begin to dismiss everything else because the soul tie done started.
Hmm.
You know, you done got busy.
Facts.
Yeah, yeah, got busy. Next one, moving on. For all you busy people,
Go ahead.
what are qualities you would, and pretty much hit on a little bit already, but what main qualities would you tell people to actually look for? And you did something that Joshua made mention of. He said there, red flags, he said, but then there are green flags. You know, green flags are like, hey, lean this way. And so you're the second person to do that. Joshua was 24, and he made mention of that. I love that. Um, what are some qualities, or you can call it green flags, that people should know? Hey, this is what you should look for and should be drawn to when you see these qualities. What are those qualities that people should make sure they see in a potential relationship? Or make
uh, their love for God will be one. Um, how they treat their family, their parents. If it's a lady, how he treats his mom, his sisters. If it's a guy, how um, she treats her brother, dad, things of that nature.
Mhm.
Um, how how they treat just people in general, like a perfect stranger.
Mm,
Are they what type of personality do they have? Whether they're an
mm,
introvert or extrovert, like what what kind of spirit are they getting putting off, and is it conducive to yours? Does it connect with yours to where it brings some level of joy or happiness or pleasure,
mm.
to want to spend
Okay.
the next portion of your life with? Like, is it something you want to keep, or is it something you're like, I could do without? You know?
Right, right. Those are the qualities you should look for. I
Yeah.
love how you said it. Make it. Does it make you happy now?
Hmm.
Is it something that's healthy for you? That's good. That's good. That's good. Look for the quality. Sometimes we can get caught up in red flags. Um,
Caught
and
up in looks, caught up in material
yeah,
things, all
superficial
of
stuff.
those type.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And forget to look for the quality, the core of the person. Yeah, yeah. That's good. That's good. That's good, man. That's good. Yeah, doing good, doing good. Have some nuggets being dropped. This is Obi-Wan with us. If you're just tuning in, his brother's been around the world. He is singing. He's rapping. Uh, do you sing also?
No, I tried to, but my brother always tell me to stop.
We need to get him. I got to get him on here one day too. Man. He can sing.
Yeah.
He, he can sing. But he even telling you to stop while you try.
Yeah.
Let me get him.
Yeah.
Hey,
Exactly.
listen. You go ahead and make your joyful noise, okay? E- Even if you have to do it in the garage, okay? You just do it. You make your joy.
Right. Right. Right.
What are some? I know you heard of some. What are some unreasonable, unrealistic expectations that are put on single men by women today? And I actually heard earlier today that some women go on the first date expecting the guy to treat them in a husband way,
Mm.
and they're looking for that already. So what? And that's going to lead to something else. What are some unrealistic, unreasonable expectations that are placed on single men today that's making it hard for the brother?
But it goes. I'll get back to your question, but it still goes back to communication. So if you communicate with this person before you go out, you'll know what type of person they are, or what they on, or what they into. So you'll know if they want those husband qualities, or want you to spend $500, $600 on the first date. You're gonna know that type of stuff in communication.
Right.
um so I don't see how people be like, hey, um I got your number, and then let's go out, let's go out without even, you might not, you might, after talking to the person, you might not even want to go out with them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, um,
It's a conversation.
yeah, like, what was the question? I got veered off on because something you said brought that
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah. No, I got you. Unreasonable expectations,
Mm,
unrealistic expectations that a
unrealistic.
lot of women put on guys.
Um, unrealistic
You was hitting on it
expectation.
though. Mhm.
So unrealistic. Like I guess
Six
it
figure
would be.
income, 6 feet tall, six pack, 6 inches or more. You know.
I would put it. I wouldn't necessarily say, guys. This statement I'll put for both, for men and for women. So,
Okay.
um, women could put this expectation on guys, and guys can put this expectation on women, where
Hmm.
the woman is looking for the guy to do husband things, and the guy is also looking for the girl to do wifely things,
Hmm.
expectations, and y'all not even there.
Right, right,
Um,
right, right,
so
right, right,
it goes back to communication and setting those boundaries and tones and say, all right, look, we want to get to this point. We ain't there yet. So like, yeah, I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to do that, or you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that, whatever the case may be. But
right.
it's I think that's a great idea because sometimes it's one-sided. The guy is doing all the husband things and he ain't getting nothing wifely from her, or the girl is doing all the wifely things and she ain't getting nothing husband from him. So um, I think that would be one.
Yeah. And I actually heard this guy on Kendra G show make mention about that. He said, you know, he's been in some relationships. He was giving, and he said, I wasn't getting nothing in return. And
Hmm.
some females feel like, maybe not the sisters who watch it, but some females feel like um, what they give you from an intimate standpoint is enough.
Hmm.
And I guess for some guys, that might be enough.
Hmm.
you know, Going back to that communication and knowing what works for you and your relationship. And that's one of the things I've been hearing here. I hear so many different perspectives and all the questions pretty much link to each other in one form or another, but just being able to um, uh, know that what one person expects of somebody, it may be unreasonable, but for the other person over here, they're like, "Hey, I'm cool with it." But to what you were saying earlier, before you asked me to ask the question again, you were saying that when you have that conversation first, when you talk first, when you communicate, you might not you might find out I'm not going to pursue that, or they might find out they're
Hmm.
not going to pursue you. You know, so
Hmm.
now we ain't expecting nothing, pretty much,
Man,
because this conversation, you know.
I agree. I remember quick story. I remember I don't know. I met this young lady somewhere, and we started talking. I want to say the first or second conversation. It might have been the second conversation.
Mhm.
And she was like, and I think I was at work or something talking to her, and she was like, "Who are you talking to? Don't be talking to no other girls while you on the phone with me." And I'm like, I don't even know you. Like, I don't know you like that for you to be one saying stuff like that.
Man's
I'm
like,
like, yeah, this our last time. This our last conversation. Like, and it was like it won't even on some. I'm talking to like somebody else. Like, hey, what's up? How you doing? What's your name? Type. It was more. It was like literally maybe some professional or something. It just happened to be a woman.
right. Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
mine.
hey, yeah, those are flags you want to stop right then and be like, yeah, I'm not even moving forward.
And see, and the thing about it is that she could probably have been doing that. Just that's her way of showing you she's interested in you. But she needs to hear from this conversation right here that that's not how it's being perceived.
Nah, Nah, uh,
Let me get
that
up out of this now.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
wrap.
Yeah, and you know what? And there have been I've seen situations like that, and some guys thought it was cute. Like, oh, yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you
it's
look like
okay.
you. Yeah, it bothers you down with some. So you want me like that? You like me like that?
Now I'll say this. So it was a long time ago, and years ago I probably had more of a high zero tolerance where I'm like, I'm not dealing with that piece. Um, to where now, as I got older, that's why I speak more about communication. So now, if it was to happen now, I'll probably communicate, hey, look, why do you do that, or what's up with this, or whatever. We'll talk about it if that was the case. But as you get older, that's my point. You start communicating a little bit better, than
Yeah,
you do when you're younger.
that's good. That's good. That's good. And age and experience makes a difference. Your
Mhm.
low tolerance and your no tolerance
Yeah.
is gonna make a difference as to how you can engage with that person. Sometimes, like you said, older, sometimes people say, hey, like, if you may be interested a little bit, right? And then that happens.
Mhm.
Why you don't have to do all that, and then you may find out, but then it could be a case where it's like, it's an immediate turn off. And that's what we're going to be going to in a minute. It's an immediate turn off. And like I said, everybody just respond differently. And it's,
Mhm.
what someone, uh, that don't like or can't deal with, I have a no tolerance for, a low tolerance for, you got no tolerance for, and that goes into just knowing yourself enough and being honest with yourself so that you can be honest with others so that you don't have to waste your time and waste their time. It goes back to communicating. And
Mhm.
communication is not just talking, but it's making sure that you understand what they're saying and they understand what you're saying.
Facts. Agree.
Yeah. So it's not just just talking. So we're talking about the woman and the man. You're a man of God. The Bible says that a woman is a helpmate.
Mhm.
Woman is a helpmate. What does that look like to you? And do you see it in today's society?
Um, so it's different different levels to that.
Okay.
So yeah, a helpmate is so of course if you married, a helpmate is totally different. But if you're single and you meet someone and you're dating and they're want to get to that level, I look at them more so are what are they helping you with? Are they helping you with your dreams, your goals, getting you to the next level, helping you, with your spirit, your mind, your financially, whatever the case may be, like are they helping you along the way? Or and you know, that's yeah, that's how I look at it. Of course, in the marriages, the same thing. Are they helping you along
Right.
the way to make your load a little lighter?
Mm-hmm.
And do I see it in today's society, or in today? Sporadically, I would say, yeah, sporadically. But like I said, going back to earlier, everything is promoting singleness, I should say. But there are some, there's gold at the end of the rainbow.
For some people, right.
So,
I remember.
yeah, so I wouldn't classify it and say it's not out there. I'm definitely sure it's out there. You probably just got to meet the right person that's for you.
Right. And so, to what you were saying, because we're talking to people who are living single, and people who are looking at some of their relationship goals. And so when you look at a helpmate from a woman's standpoint, the Bible saying a woman is a helpmate. Um, a lot of times people get into marriages and they have never heard of it. They don't know what it means. They don't understand that role. They don't understand what it looked like. They hadn't even thought. They just, I want to get married. I'm gonna be your wife. From a woman's standpoint, right? I'm gonna be your mate. And but what does that look like? Um, um, is what a lot of people fall short of understanding. Even
Right.
having a conversation about. You know, because to what you're saying, it also may be different for different people. I
Facts.
don't need your help in this area.
Right.
I need you to help in this area. You know,
100%.
yeah. So understanding.
That's
So
true.
I got you. Yeah. Oh, and you said sporadically. Some people will make mention that they've seen it amongst the older couples. I thought you was gonna go there when you was talking about the ages earlier. They don't see it so much in the younger generation.
Sporadically, you see it a lot in the older couples, yes. But you see some of the older couples spirits, love, all of it trickle down to some people sporadically. So that's why I said I won't say it's just not in none of the young people, but
Right. Exactly.
it's sporadically out there. So
Right.
um,
Right.
I think as people continue to grow and communicate, we might see a little bit more.
Right. Grow and communicate. I love how you say, make sure that they are helping you in your spirit, helping you with your
Hmm.
mind, helping you with your finances, helping
Hmm.
you with go. These are things you got to look at, and this is the question: am I willing to do this? Because if you're a selfish person,
Yeah,
you self-centered, and you know who you are, you know yourself,
you ain't
you might
going
not
to.
say what
You ain't going to.
you ain't going to, and you're going to
Hmm.
take it as, I don't have time for that. I'm trying to be a
Hmm.
boss woman,
Yeah.
and so be real enough. Because if this person, how do you, like the woman, ask him, how do you see her help me? You know, how do you see her help me? And to the guy, you thinking about, marriage or whatever, even in a relationship, because if you don't see it now, I think it's gonna pop up later, And so let her know this is what I see in what it looks like for me to have a woman as a helpmate. Have
Hmm.
that. We keep going back to it. Have that conversation.
Conversation.
These are 10 topics that you can just have as conversation with
Yeah.
people that you are pursuing a relationship with. I guarantee you, when you do that, you're going to find out you're going to learn each other a little bit better than what's your sign? What's your favorite color?
All right.
You know,
What you like to eat?
she like to eat. Yeah, you got a little bit more. And one of the things that people find out is love languages, right? And so, just
Hmm.
real quick, you heard the 5 love languages, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your love language? Your top love language.
My top one would be quality time.
Good dog. That's mine. That's my top one. Yeah, Inspire. You heard that? They've been hearing me say this on here. I tell people across the board is quality time, family, friends, kids,
Hmm.
I that's when I feel love.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. And I admonish everybody to know what
Yeah.
what your love languages are, so you can relay that to a potential mate, and then don't stop there. Find out what theirs are.
Hmm.
Find out what theirs are as well. That's the only way you can meet that need. And if you living single and looking at a relationship, you need to know that your whole mind, your whole paradigm shift is to now consider somebody else. As much as you consider yourself, the
Hmm.
Bible says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's the same way with your mate. You know, as you will consider for you, you got to consider them.
Facts.
The man, provider and protector. That's what we hear all the time. He's a provider and a protector. What does that look like to Obi-Wan? For a man to be a provider and protector? And do you see it in today's society?
For me, it's self-explanatory. It's you providing and protecting your family, the ones you love, the ones you with, the one you in a relationship with, the one you married to, so on and so on. Like you're providing financially, spiritually, emotionally, um, all of those aspects, and you're protecting from um, all of those things too, and any evil or spirits that might come in that direction. Your
Mm,
love and prayers can block
mm,
what's trying to hurt or hinder.
mm.
And is it in today's society? Sporadically, again.
Do you see
Um,
brothers who are providing and protecting, or is
yeah,
that
it's sporadic because there are some guys that just ain't doing nothing, but then there's some guys that are. So um, I wouldn't categorize it to say that it's not being done. Um, There's some out there, some can do better. There's some not doing none at all that need to step up. But um, I think it's a must.
so? Do you see providing and protecting from a physical and financial standpoint pretty much primary? Protecting physically, providing financially, or do you see that it's more extensive than that?
It's more extensive. I mean, yes, those are top key areas, definitely. But I would add in spiritually in there too, though, because
And
if you
you've
want to
continued to
be
do that. I love that.
you there, okay. You want to be the head. You gotta provide what God given to you, and if you ain't going to Him to get it, then how you gonna do that? I mean, everything ain't protecting with a weapon. You got there's spiritual warfare too.
Ah,
Yeah, man. So it's
yes,
more
yes,
extensive to answer your question.
yes, 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 yes. And you made mention earlier about spirit and about prayer. You the pray man, okay? But I don't know. I don't know every time prayer mentioned in the Bible, but every time you think about prayer, now you think about Obi. Pray. The hat. Sometimes I should have had one of
Yeah,
your hats on, right? You
it's
know,
all good. It's all good.
I just about to pray before Obi. Why Obi can come to my mind every time I got to pray? But listen, a brother, a man can never underestimate the power of his provision and protection if he knows how to pray, because he's pulling in a power, a source. What the God tells us in First Thessalonians, in our weakness, His strength is made perfect. So even when I'm weak in an area of how to provide or how to protect me, but I'm praying, you know, and I'm able to pray for you and cover. I'm able to escort in, to call in what we need, what you need, where I may be lacking.
Facts.
And you keep saying pouring into that spirit, someone who can pour into your spirit. Because even then you say, oh, we got to go back to the spirit, and so in a relationship, how does a female know that you really need her to be spiritual? How does that conversation come about? Or do you wait to see something, wait for discernment? How does that conversation come out to know that she's not just a church girl, right? But she is a spiritual girl. What are you looking for, and how is that conversation?
Um, I don't necessarily think it's a conversation per se. It's like you'll notice some things. You'll see some things. What they say, the fruits of your labor will show. Um, so I don't think it's something necessarily that has to be spoken up front. You can just kind of sit back and allow God to work, and watch and
Right.
see how things progress or move, and um, see what's in her spirit or his spirit.
Yeah. 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 That's something that you cannot imitate. Either you
Yeah.
have it or not.
Hmm.
Right. You have it or not. What would you, before we go to our next one, our last two, what would you say to the brother who is wrestling with, whether he can be a provider and protector? It's costly out here. I mean, it's a lot out here, and you got some females who expect a lot, and then I know some men, who run away from the idea of having kids. You said 100% full-time dad. Some would rather just date as opposed to make a commitment, because this provider and protector seems to be a weight that. So what would you say to someone who is like, in between and betwixt about wanting that, but feeling apprehensive?
It's twofold. So you can he can do one. He could chill out, be by himself until he get to a point where he feel like he's ready to take on that provider role. Or you just might meet somebody that's where on the same page as you, the same level as you, the same situation, to where y'all growing together, and like, financially and all of that stuff. So I mean, it really just depends.
Right, right, right. Yeah, yeah, because that brother could find somebody who wants to build with him, you
Yeah.
know, not coming in with no high expectation. We can build together.
Hmm.
Yeah, because she sees some qualities, like he sees some qualities there that's worth building with this person.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. And so to what you're saying, you may not have all this helpmate, all this provider, protector qualities or traits initially, you
Hmm.
know. But when you connect with someone who understands where you are, you understand where they are, you can build from there.
Facts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gotcha. Listen, I like that. I like that. I like that. That's good for somebody, who could be feeling pressured, by society, by culture. Well, as you said, they're not gonna feel pressured by society to get in a relationship, but unless it's a poly relationship. Everybody's doing poly now. What is that about? What is
Hey,
wait a minute? You got some African in you, right?
no, Bahamas, Bahamian.
Oh yeah, Bahamian. I know it was someplace else. It is right. Okay, no, y'all don't do that over there. Okay. Yeah, so this poly thing, man, everybody, it's almost like, once again, people don't want to I don't know whether it's just a some people say it's not just a sexual thing for them. Some people say it's a thing of wanting, having more. Um we actually have someone in the studio that Chin is to the he's from Africa. His people are from Africa. I should be asking him, what is his thought on the poly? And is it because it seems to be a cultural thing that's from over there that's being brought over here? Real quick,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on that, right quick, on poly? And that's not one of
To
our questions, huh?
my thing would be to each his own. Like,
To each his own, right?
yeah, if that's what
Okay,
floats your boat, then that's what floats your
okay,
boat. So, um,
okay, all right. Would you ever think about a poly?
I've never been in one to speak on one. So, um, you
Well, you
said it
didn't
was.
just say no.
You said that it was fine. You said something about financial. Um,
So we,
so it's a few guys that I've seen online, like real prominent guys that are in that lifestyle. It ain't just one or two. It's more. It's like a lot. It's like a lot, like four and
yeah,
five that they're into. So
Right.
They like, hey, everybody's coming together financially, everybody's coming together, we're all grown, but I'm the man and I'm taking care of all of them. Yeah, I can't do that. I'll be broke. So
But no, they're bringing their monies to you as well. It's like all this money in the melting pot.
yeah, but he's still the
So I'll be broke.
the provider. He's still making it work. How making everybody happy per se. Um,
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's
That's hard right
I
there.
would
Just what you said. Making everybody happy.
right. That's
That right
hard in
there.
itself. Yeah.
Yes.
So I would like to see. I hear like you said, a lot of people are doing it and talk about it. I would like to see a long term one though.
Okay,
Most of the
right.
ones I've seen are short
In the
term.
early
Like
stages.
it's like for the time being, type of thing. So I haven't you see examples of people that's been married for a long period of time, but I think I haven't heard examples of people been in a poly relationship for a long time. So um, to me, it's not too much that much data surrounding it.
I got you. And I only brought that up because the way the conversation was going and making reference to how living single, I mean, living single is pretty much more promoted than getting in relationships. And so then I started thinking
Mm,
about, I keep hearing a lot of, when I do hear getting in relationship, I'm hearing a lot about poly, you know, and there's some other names too, but it pretty much means more than one.
Now, if Sanaa Lathan and maybe Nia Long call me up at the same time, I might be like, "Hey, okay, sign me up, sign me up."
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. You didn't even say you would have to pray about it.
Sign me up. Where we going? Yeah,
I love it. Well, me and Inspire can probably hook you up with now. Like we done got. She directed a film that we were in, so
yeah.
we see if she knows how to get in touch with
Hey,
Neil. Okay, we gotta write this out, man.
sign me up.
Hey, anybody out there who know how we can hook over up with both? Are you serious? And see, that goes to it's amazing how people can have a deal breaker. No, I
Yeah,
wouldn't do that.
exactly.
But the
Right,
right scenario.
exactly. Put them in
Okay,
the right
well,
situation.
yes. Because I heard a situation that this old lady, like she was like 90 something years old. She went up to the guy and she said, my husband did. I got a $10 million, and I want a husband. And he looked at her. She looked wrinkled and all kind of stuff. But all he saw was a $10 million. It was like, what? And so the question was like, would you do
Mm,
this? Would you marry this 98-year-old woman who got
and
$10 million? But yeah, who got $10 million, and you be her husband, and you have access to $10 million? Would you do it?
I ain't signing no prenup.
Women, you're not signing no. Oh,
Oh.
what? It's the real stuff. Cause you never know now. She might live to be 105 more. You think it's just
Hey,
a matter of time.
hey, I got more
I'm not
years
signing
ahead
no
of me.
prenup.
I got
Because
more
that
years
sounds
ahead
like,
of me
yeah,
than
we can
she did.
say what?
I got more years
Yeah.
ahead of me, hopefully, than she do. No,
Oh
I
my
wouldn't. I wouldn't
God.
marry for money though.
Okay. Yeah. You say that to $10 million come to way. Okay. We're moving on.
Right. This made me think like,
Last two questions. What are turn-offs? Someone
off.
listening right now, turn offs. Someone
Mm-hmm.
is saying they want to be in a relationship. That girl, that guy. And they need to know that, and you can only talk from your perspective. So that's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
From your perspective, what do you see as turn offs? Because what turns somebody off, turns somebody else on,
That's true.
But what do you see? Yeah. What do you see as turn offs? in men and women who say they want to be in a relationship?
My thing would be for men and women, people who do not care for um, and take care of their kids. Like if you trying to be in a relationship with this lady over here and she already had two kids and you got two kids and you ain't taking care of the two
Mhm,
you got, like that should be, like we said, a red flag for her. But
mhm.
um, I mean, and there's some women out there that don't that are the same way too. But um, how do they treat their kids? Are they going out every night and the grandparents taking care of the kids, or whatever? It's just those
Right,
should be turnoffs.
right,
And
right, right.
especially if you don't have any and you want some, what that person, uh, you setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, and especially with you being a father, how old is your son?
He's 8. He about to be 9 in December.
Right. So you have a whole different perspective when you're looking at, dating somebody. You want to know where they are with kids,
Hmm.
do they have kids and how they are. How do you juggle that dating and being a father, a single
Uh,
father, as you said?
uh,
How do you juggle that? Do you still
no,
date? Huh?
not really. It's Yeah, it's rough. So I I
You said
don't
it's
really.
rough.
Yeah. Yeah, it is rough. Because I don't try to, and I don't knock people that do, but I ain't about to be out here. Oh, this is Keisha, or this Shantae, or this is Susie. Um, and kids see that, over time, and it's like, well, hold on a second, you was just talking to her. Or I don't try to create those type of vibes. I want you to um, see something different. So unless it's something that's serious or potentially there, then I'll open that door.
Gotcha, 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 gotcha. The I remember, I was a single father for a while with my son Shabbat. That's why whenever I see you and little man now, I'm like, man, I'm loving it. And so I do know the challenges that come with still trying to have a life,
Right.
still trying to set again, yeah, walk in your purpose, go out on date or anything,
Right.
and and be a full-time father, be a hands-on father, you know, and you can see you're hands-on, not just the videos is through the videos and everything. You can see the connection that you all have, and it took time to build that. You
Yeah.
know, it takes time to build that. So,
He was for me
before,
first.
that again.
I say I ain't trying to rush it, but he waiting for me right now to say prayers.
And he about to pray with us right now too. And we down to our last one. Self-awareness, self-awareness, self-awareness. We know that we've talked about that being so important in order to um, have a healthy relationship. Um, Knowing yourself enough so that you can share this with someone else, and then them being self-aware enough. So because we know the importance of that and we've dived into that already a little bit, I just want to ask you two things. I've shifted it up a little bit for some people. What are two wonderful things that you are aware of about yourself? And what are two things about yourself you're still working on, you need to work on? And I admonish everybody out there, all of you, to look at yourself, examine yourself, know what's wonderful about you, and be real and know what you need to work on. So two things on both sides that you're working on about yourself, and that are wonderful about Obi-Wan.
that I'm wonderful. That I'm a people person. So, like I said earlier, I wake up every day to inspire people or motivate them in some way, form, or fashion.
Wake up
Um,
to
I am another thing that's wonderful about me that I'm self-aware of is that I'm royalty. You know, I should be treated as such. You know, I'm God's son. You know what I mean?
know what I
I'm
mean, son?
that. um, and
Yes.
two things that
Stop right there, brothers. Do y'all hear that? Everybody, do you hear that? Across the board of your life. Anyway, that's just across the board of your life. You know, yeah, everywhere. Anyway, keep going, keep going, keep going.
two things that I'm self-aware or that I need to work on. Well, like I said too earlier, communication. I've been working on my communication, being able to communicate where before it's like I either shut down, don't talk about it, keep moving type of thing. So the communication um, and um, fatherhood too. I'm always wondering if I'm doing the right thing, you know. So um, those will be my two.
Yeah, we as fathers who are um, trying to do it right, we are doing it right. We keep saying trying, and then others look at us and said, "No, man, you're doing it." I
Right.
used to always keep saying trying. I would get compliments all the time. I said, "I'm trying." It's like, "No, man, you're doing it." I tell you, you're doing it.
Thank
You're doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it. Um, I would like for you, if you don't mind, to close us out with prayer. But once again, before we do that, if you would let everybody know how to follow you, I need you to know we appreciate you. You are a treasure to Living Single Podcast now. You know, appreciate your time
you.
and
It's
your nuggets from your own experiences. So if you would say,
thank you so much. No, definitely. So before we do the prayer, you said tell where they can find me.
yeah,
Obi-Wan
yeah,
BA, um, Obi-Wan BA on all social media. Um, so obi1ba.com for everything else. And so close out, I'll say, God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the love you've given all of us, the
yeah,
ears that you blessed us to hear, the words you blessed us to say. Bless all of the single relationship or whatever they're in, people, the listeners that are going to hear this podcast, hear this message, and hopefully something that we've said tonight will influence them, motivate them, educate them in some form of fashion to bless their life, bless their relationships or their next relationship.
yeah.
God, we just ask you to continuously to open doors of
Mm.
favor, love, wealth, and health. And these things we call it done in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen, amen, amen. Once again, love you. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. I will let you know when it'll be aired. I'm also let you know when we have our live reunion show before a live audience,
Okay.
so you can be there. I'll be letting you know that real soon, so we have you in the place. But to all of you who've been watching and listening, I want to thank you. Continue to stay with us. Make sure to subscribe. And look at the information at the back, at the end, and govern yourself accordingly, as they would say in church. But as I always say to all of you all the time, be intentional about creating a better life for yourself. We're out of here. Appreciate you, man.
So we want to be a man. Looking for that, gotta have that, really need that. Looking for that, gotta have that, really need that. second line. Keep me smiling, keep me laughing, you always amazing me. Others try to steal my love for you, but it ain't phasing me. You led me to your father, now you got me saying daddy too. Hold up, wait a minute, take a breath, it's me and you. Sometimes I wonder why you the one that chose me. Everybody said they know me, you the one that rose. See, I'm a cheater, I'm a liar, I'm the one that fought the lust. When I'm getting lost, you always tell me get back on the bus. You don't let me go, why? Never even seen you try. Every day you show me love, never ever say goodbye. Now on I'll be loving you, faithful cause your love is true. Hold up, wait a minute, till I die, it's me and you. Looking for that, gotta have that, really need that. Looking for that, gotta have that, really need that. Looking for that, gotta have that, really need that. King Marcus B.A. King Marcus B.A. You say you really love me, I really wanna trust you. A lot of people say they love you when they really lust you. You say there are no limits, that means no conditions. Love over everything, the power of a Christian. Cause I came home late one night, knowing you were jealous. I put no one before you, but I'm out here with the fellas. Flirting with these ladies, drinking, acting crazy. Had one more chance to mess up, but you still forgave me. And still wanna be with me, even through my trauma. Accepted all my flaws, even on my baby mamas. Loving all my kids, teaching me how to raise them. Sunday morning, up in church, look at how they praise them. You were so amazing, sometimes you amaze me. Said you never leave me or never forsake me. Now I know your love is true, marriage I know what to do. Looking for a mate, I'ma make sure she look just like you. Even when I'm shady, out here acting crazy. Had one more chance to mess up, but you still forgave me. Even when I'm shady, out here acting crazy. Had one more chance to mess up, but you still forgave me.